So the pose is more accurate, there's a bit more information, and it already looks 1,000 times better than what I had before. Hello, welcome to this video. Today I am going to be creating the Xenomorph in Dreams. This is the main pose that I'm referencing to. This is the remote play from Dreams, and how I got the gyroscope to actually move around on remote play is by using a cable that's originally for PC VR, which reads the gyroscopic information in the MetaQuest. But the cool thing with this cable is that it can read the gyroscopic information from a DualSense controller, which allows the added benefits of doing stuff on PC while also working in Dreams. And I am just going to show you the process and translating it into Dreams. The blue in Dreams is a bit different, so I can adjust that right now. It's a bit more darker like this, and these lights here, they should be more darker like this. Probably a bit too saturated now, so we can bring down the saturation. It needs to be a bit more blue. The light needs to be over here. Okay, the tail is obviously not meant to be there. It's over here a bit more, and it's a bit over here a bit more. And I think this part of the back is more closer. It's the donut shape. I'm just going to place it here just to get a rough idea of where things should be. Yeah, this tail is just too high, I think. It needs to be lower. Part of the shoulder goes out like this. I don't even know what I did here. So what I'm gonna do is duplicate this and delete everything except the arm shape, just so I can pose. Just gonna duplicate it and delete the hand area, and then delete the arm, and now I have a posable hand. So let's pose it so that it's the same as this thing. Move it into the overall pose. It's just something weird with this back that doesn't really make sense, because it looks a bit too far off. It's not symmetrical. Just gonna ooh, no. Yeah, just delete all this and keep it separate. And just remembering that reference we had before. I don't know if it has to be exactly the same, because we can improvise, I guess. It's really basic at the moment, but I just work with basic pieces to get the pose, because that's the main thing. There's some light that's missing, these highlights, and it's not giving the depth, and this is curved this way. So let's just see what happens if I curve it a bit. Maybe I can duplicate this and add in that light source, and maybe move this a bit more so we get more highlights. that works better. We also keep in mind it's not only about replicating the image. Sometimes there is opportunity to improve on and make it more dramatic. Just need more of this jaw. I'm just trying to figure out the 3D placement of things before I go in and add more detail. It's a really blue light on this side, not too saturated blue. There'll be a more detailed sculpt later on, but this is just to get a rough idea how the lighting reacts to things. So here is obviously more brighter. So I want that sheen that you can see here that's bright, and I just want it to affect the tail, not the head. So I can change the range so it just hits the tail and not everything else. And at the moment the Xenomorph is a bit too shiny. I like to go less shiny because it does have an organic feel to it. You can also see if you go up close there's this grainy texture, so we can actually add that in Dreams pretty easily by increasing the looseness. But if I change this as well, you can kind of achieve that. There's no great effect at the moment. This is just, I want to try and achieve as much of this in camera as possible. I think it's better like this actually. Yeah, that's way better. Just deleting that light source makes it look way better already. It's actually slanted this way a bit more. That's why it's not catching the light the way it's meant to catch it. I'm just going to roughly cut the angle in so that we get an idea of how the light is responding to it. Yeah, something like that. Maybe adjust the range again so that just hits the tail and nothing else. It's not modeled yet, but if the angles are correct, then it will catch the light. This looks weird at the moment. It's the arm, I think. How there's this negative space, and here you can see there's the lack of negative space, and also the tail is way off. There's this triangle negative space here. There's not much of a negative space in Dreams. See if I move this down a bit, and it might make a difference. There's also that negative space again with the leg and the arm, which is not really happening here. This leg is a bit offset from the head. So here's the head, here's the width of the leg. But here the leg isn't thick enough. There's this clear angle going down like this, but here in my one, that's not really happening. This is meant to go up a bit more. This is meant to move out way more. Same thing with the leg here. I think the head is slightly too big. This is meant to be out here. This goes down this way. This arm goes down like this. And this leg is way off. It's meant to be closer. The head is a bit weird because I haven't really properly modeled the head yet, but the jaw is meant to be pointier. I can also see the arm goes down on an angle, but here it's not the same. So I can tilt it a bit more, bring it in, so that's more on an angle. Guess that looks a little bit more accurate, but this is meant to go down a bit more. So I'm just thinking about how the tail goes back. Something like this that's on the side. You can see how much of a difference it makes when there is just slightly a bit more detail. If I just scribble in, it makes a lot of difference already. The main thing I want to get right first is the silhouette and the pose, and then I can start refining it more and more. So anyway, I'm gonna end part 1 here, and I'm going to save this now, and it already looks 1,000 times better than what I had before. So this is what I had before. It looks absolutely, I mean, it's not bad. So the pose is more accurate, there's a bit more information, and now it's just trying to keep building on top of this.